you are about to do some Yom Kippur yoga with, I think, over 120 people, which is a very, very real service right now. So the purpose of Yom Kippur, of yoga on Yom Kippur, is kind of twofold. One is to fold, very truly, to give your body a chance to move between positions and to experience some embodied prayer practice. And the other is to give you a chance to allow yourself to meditate on and reflect on this moment in time, this day of all days, this Shabbat of all Shabbats. And so wherever you are, if you're in a chair, wonderful. I'll be showing some of what the chair options look like. If you're on your mat, also wonderful. If you're on a carpet, great. Do whatever you need to do during this class, during this time, to take care of your body. I recognize that some of us are fasting and some of us aren't, and it's always available to you to stop, to pause, to child's pose, to like lie down and just listen in. And if you need to leave and come back, that's okay too. There's no one right way to be here with us. The fact that you're here with us at all is what matters. And so I am going to switch my view so that you can watch me do things, and you'll be able to hear Liz tell us how to do things or some of the suggestions of what you might do. I'm going to hand it over to Liz.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Klass. That was a perfect introduction, and welcome, y'all. I truly am just thrilled to be a part of this service today, and I'm going to start with a somewhat brief guided meditation. And like Rabbi Klass is doing, you can have a seat on your mat, you can have a seat on a chair, you can lie down. Really all that's required for meditation is that you decide to meditate. There's really nothing else that's required. And I will offer some variations as I guide you through. And right now, as you take your seat, take a breath in and a long breath out. And everyone's muted, I believe, besides Rabbi Klass and myself. So you can sigh out and anytime during meditation or this practice. If you're comfortable, go ahead and flutter your eyes closed or gaze down toward a spot, a specific spot, either on your mat, on the floor, somewhere in your space. With your hands, you can bring your palms face down. That's a more grounding variation. Palms face up is traditionally more receiving. Fingertips together in front of you is a more centering type of orientation of your hands. And really, it's whatever feels right and comfortable. Start to notice now the quality of your breath. There's no need to form your breath in any particular way. In meditation, it's more a matter of presencing yourself to how you're breathing in and out through your nose or through your mouth. There's nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to change. For right now, simply become an observer, a witness to your breath. Bring your awareness to your physical body, from your periphery, from your skin. You'll feel, perhaps air on your skin. You'll feel the connection of your clothing to your skin. Just become aware of that, again, without any need to fix or change anything. I offer that you remain still or still-ish during your meditation, and for sure, if you need to move or adjust, do so and re-arrive in stillness. We do a body scan now. Start at your feet. Bring your awareness, your attention to your feet. Relax and soften through the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, each of your toes. Just bring an ease from your feet to your legs, your lower legs, your upper legs, all the way to your seat, from the bottom half of your body. You feel the connection to the earth, either through your mat, your chair, wherever you are seated or reclined. Bring your awareness now to your spine line. Start at the base of your spine, soften and relax through your low back, your mid back and upper back. And draw that same easefulness, peacefulness, relaxation in your body to your shoulders. From your shoulders, bring your awareness down your arms, your upper arms, your elbow joints, your lower arms to your wrists. And then land your awareness in your hands. Backs of your hands, palms of your hands, and each of your fingers. Just bring an easefulness, a softening there. And where your attention goes, energy flows. You might feel some sensation in your hands now as you keep your awareness, your attention on your hands. You'll use your hands as an anchor into the present moment, so that I offer just a bit more time here in your meditation practice. Your thoughts may drift off to something outside of this Yom Kippur meditation, and that is completely fine and normal. Your task, the only work for you to do is to notice that you're thinking, and to very gently, with kindness, compassion, and patience, bring your awareness back to your physical body, this sense of softening, relaxing, and easefulness in your physical body. Bring your palms together at the center of your chest. Lift the center of your chest up to meet your palms. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And float your eyes open. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms away from you. As you gently reawaken your body, stretch your arms up to the ceiling, roof above you. Just bring a gentle sway side to side in your body. And gently bringing some motion side to side. And hold your right wrist, pull up and over to the left side. And keep your head right between your upper arms. You can keep holding on to your right hand, or drop your left hand down to your side. Reach up and over with your right hand. And your gaze, where you look, is anywhere that brings ease and softening to your neck, your shoulders. In fact, right now, draw the wings of your shoulder blades in toward your spine line. And come back up through center and switch sides. Hold your left wrist, pull up and over. If this is the first stretch that you're doing, like I am, I just felt my back just very gently crack and awaken. Keep reaching up and over. You might bring your right hand down. Keep reaching up and over with your left. And come back up through center. Reach both arms up, look up, and take just a very gentle bow down over your legs. And just as Rabbi Klass had said, as you bow down, wherever you're seated, you don't necessarily have to be on the floor. You can do this, while you're sitting on a floor, on a chair, and you move your body in a way that just feels natural and intuitive for this, forward folding shape. Now you will change the shape of your breath now into a breath of choice. Start to inhale and exhale deeply, ideally through your nose for an even count. In order to stay present to your breath, you can even start to count out the seconds on your inhale. Sometimes I'll inhale to a count of 4 all the way up to 8 and match your exhale to that same count. On your inhale breath, now rise up. Change the orientation of your legs. If you're seated on the floor, you'll put the other shin in front. If you're seated on a chair, you might adjust and lift up to rearrange your seat. Take once more, lift your arms up, take a deep breath in, and bow down. And start to just become aware of the subtleties as you shift your body into these very different shapes and forms. As you keep your awareness on the breath, your inhales and exhales, also keep your awareness on your periphery, your skin, your hands, your feet. You can even right here in this forward fold begin to work some core stability and very gently lift your low belly in toward your back. That will bring even more length and freedom into your low back, your hips. On an inhale breath, rise all the way up and come into all fours on your mat or on the floor for a tabletop shape and start to move through a cat and cow. This might feel really good, y'all, especially if you've been kind of sitting through some services this morning, just to start moving your body. Keep your joints stacked, shoulders above your wrists and hips above your knees. As you arch your back in cat toward the ceiling, you'll exhale. And then as you drop your stomach down toward the floor or your mat, you'll inhale for cow. Now start to add a side to side motion, right shoulder toward your right hip, left shoulder toward your left hip. Now I can see Rabbi Klass practicing, and I'm actually sitting on the floor, y'all, and it still feels really, really good to move my spine around side to side. Option to also combine those shapes into a barrel roll, like a jump rope shape. As you move and really awaken through your body, anywhere where you might start to feel tension creep in, soften and relax, much like you did in meditation. Just a few more rounds of breath here. Start to turn your fingers in different directions. And by the way, and I'll show this too, Rabbi Klass, you can stay on your mat if you'd like. If you're seated like I am, sometimes just even stretching my arms out and turning my fingers in and out and then back can feel like just a really sweet stretch through my wrists and forearms. Yeah. And you can even from seated, you can roll your shoulders forward and back. This yoga practice, y'all, becomes very intuitive in how you move your body. You can keep moving here through cat and cow and side to side shapes in your spine. And Rabbi Klass, come back to, if you will, to demonstrate the spinal balance. Stretch your right hand away from you, right hand forward, and left foot straight back. So this spinal balance will allow you to tap into the core stability that I talked about. You'll very gently lift your low belly up and in to maintain the shape. You can stay here just like this. Or if you're feeling a bit more like a quad stretch, you can bend your knee and catch your foot above you. And for any of these shapes, y'all, as you're on your mat, you might choose to create the shape, you might go for it and then choose something else. And that's all part of your creativity and expansion. Awesome. Switch sides. Stretch your left hand forward, right foot back. So you'll create the same spinal balance on the other side. your gaze, your eyes go straight down toward your mat. You always want to maintain that length through the back of your neck. And again, you can stay here just like this or catch your foot above you. You should never feel any pinching in the low back. You know, if that happens, you know, then come back to either your spinal balance or tabletop. In fact, I'm going to have everyone come back to tabletop right now. Check in with your breath. Take a deep breath in and out. Now press back for child's pose. Press your hips back toward your heels, and you can have your feet together. You can make more space and have your feet apart. Stretch your arms forward and really tap into the energy and awakening integration through your hands, your arms, your legs. Just be here and breathe. Child's pose is one of the postures that will begin to create an awareness of the spaciousness in your hips, your shoulders, and chest. Keep your breath flowing, deep inhales and exhales through your nose. Relax your shoulders more. I'm going to press up to tabletop. From tabletop, downward facing dog. And know that you can drop one or both of your knees to your mat or to the floor really at any time during this practice. And yeah, any posture can look like you're on your hands and knees. You can do this posture even against the wall. If you'd like to, if you prefer to be standing, you can bring your arms against the wall in that sort of variation to stretch. Just about 3 more breaths right here in downward facing dog. Draw your shoulder blades in toward your spine line with your elbow joints and knee joints slightly bent. Good, now push your chest back toward your legs. Deep breath in and out. And walk all the way up to your hands for a forward fold ragdoll. Hold opposite elbows or tuck your hands into your elbow creases. I know many of you have a yoga practice already. If there's another arm variation that you prefer that would feel more freeing to you, please do that. Now, and for sure, take deep breaths in and out, ideally through your nose with your knees bent, y'all. In this practice, you'll never lock out your knees, so always keep a bend in your knees and choose some sort of bind with your arms. I'm gonna just pop up, and I think you can see this one with your fingers interlaced. Yeah, you can even put your fingers to the base of your skull, elbows to the sides with your knees bent. Yes, awesome. Really, really good. Yeah, and I see some of you taking that, you know, really easeful, gentle sway side to side and front to back. You'll be here for just a few more breaths. And release your bind. You can keep your feet apart, please, about a couple of fist distance. It ends up being 6 to 8 inches, and please keep your knees bent. On an inhale breath, lift up halfway, and you'll parallel your spine to your mat. Good, y'all. And then on an exhale breath, bow down. On an inhale breath, sweep all the way up, extended mountain pose. And then forward fold, exhale. This is just an opportunity to awaken to your breath and how you move. Lift up halfway, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Good. Rise all the way up, inhale. You can have your arms out wide or through center line. Forward fold, exhale. Lift up halfway, breathe in. Fold down, breathe out. Good. Rise all the way up. Stay uplifted. Now interlace your hands, press your palms to the ceiling, very similar to how you did right after meditation. And now you just have a bit more space to go side to side. Hold your right wrist, pull over to the left, or drop your arm down by your side. And keep breathing well, deep inhales and exhales. And press into your feet. And switch to the other side, side body stretch. And it doesn't matter which side you do first, by the way. We only have two sides. There's really not a right or a wrong way to do this. All I require truly in your physical yoga practice is that you continue breathing deeply in and out through your nose. And then reach back up through center, inhale, forward fold, exhale, lift up, halfway inhale, fold down, and go ahead and step back. One more downward facing dog for right now. Take a deep breath in and out. And some of you know some additional postures. You can always take different variations, and just because I recognize some of you too online, if you'd ever want to move through a full Sun Salutation A, of course you're invited to do that right now. I see some of you doing that. And Rabbi Klass, if you want to take a full Sun Salutation A, just because I see a lot of what's going on online, I am going to cue that. So from downward facing dog, I see that you're moving through. Yeah, and I'll wait till, thank you, Rabbi Klass. I'm going to cue you through one more. All right, from downward facing dog, look to your hands and then step up. Lift up, halfway inhale, forward fold. Good, rise all the way up to standing, deep breath in, and forward fold, breathe out. Lift up, halfway inhale, step back to high plank, high push-up shape, then lower halfway, come all the way down for cobra on your belly with your elbows in, or if you're pressing into your hands, you can do an upward facing dog, lift your hips, thighs, and knees, downward facing dog. Yoga is like that, y'all. It really is about like creativity and expansion and possibility. So kind of whatever you're feeling in your body right now is perfect. You might even choose to rest in child's pose, down dog or shavasana. I'm going to have you move into some postures of balance. Look to your hands from down dog, step forward. On your inhale breath, lift up halfway, fold down, and then sweep all the way up. Hands through prayer and down by your sides. I'm going to move through, actually, before we move into balance, it feels amazing to get into the balance of your body just by a body awareness. So I will do a fairly brief body scan again. Start at your feet and press down into your feet. With both feet facing forward, as you see Rabbi Klass doing at 12 o'clock, press into the ball mounds of your feet, press into your heels, and lift the arches of your feet up. See, that will engage and bring an awareness to the strength in your legs. Bring your pelvis to neutral, lift the front of your pelvis, descend your tailbone toward your heels. And now bring your shoulders into alignment. You'll over exaggerate this. I'll do this too from seated, but reach your shoulders up toward your ears. Yes, and then press your shoulders straight back and then relax your shoulders down. That brings your shoulders into natural, easeful alignment. And just with the crown of your head energetically lift up. Yeah, so you're standing here tall like a tree, and we're not doing tree yet. I will have you start in eagle posture. Stand on your left foot and wrap your right leg over. You might keep your right toes on the floor even as a kickstand, or wrap your right leg around and press the outer blade of your right foot to your left calf. Now with your arms, bring them out by the sides and wrap your right arm underneath, hold the backs of your shoulders, and I'm doing the upper body part of this only, y'all. So if you're seated, you can for sure do this. You can also bind your arms into an eagle bind, reach your fingertips up toward the ceiling. So either one is perfect. Good. One more inhale, sink your hips down toward your mat, and exhale, release back to ready pose, arms by your sides. And you'll take the same shape on the other side. Wrap your left leg over your right. Arms out by your sides. Good. And left arm under to either hold the backs of your shoulders, or you can bind your arms. You'll take deep breaths here. The whole idea of creating these shapes is not only to balance on one foot, but to bring balance into your body, left to right side, top to bottom. One more deep breath in. And release this posture back to ready pose. Good. Arms by your sides. Standing leg raise. Hold your right knee with your right hand. Bring your left hand to your hip. And stand up tall. And open your right knee out to the right. Maybe span your left arm out and look over your left arm. And it's totally fine to fall out of any of these postures and reestablish your balance back in. Good. Come back to center. Good job. That's awesome. Very good demonstration. Hands through prayer and switch sides. You're an amazing model. Hold your left knee with your right hand to your right hip. Stand tall, right? And you'll feel this, energetic center line integration that comes from being balanced in your breath and your body. Open out to the left. You might span your right arm out and look over your right arm. Take deep breaths, y'all. That's the most important part of being in balance, is to balance your inhales and exhales. Really good. Soften your gaze. You're good. Then come back to center. Perfect. Hands through prayer and arms down by your sides. Ready pose. And, and that is, this balance. Some of the best ways to learn balance are to come out of balance and back in. Tree. I'll offer two different variations, and we'll start in traditional tree. So you'll start standing on your left foot and take your right foot to your left ankle like a kickstand, or your calf or your thigh. Please avoid your knee joint in tree. And you can have your hands at prayer, or you can reach up and stretch out. And just like a tree is stable and yet free and expansive from your hips down, ground down to the earth, your mat, the floor, and from your waist up, lift up and look up, even if that takes you off balance and you have to start over again. Excellent. Please go to the other side. Start by standing now on your right foot and bring your left foot either to your right ankle, your calf or thigh, hands to prayer, or up above you. You might take a different variation and create prayer above your head, then bend your elbows with your thumbs right behind your neck. You might feel a pretty sweet stretch through your triceps. If you've been holding your prayer book all morning, that might feel really good to open up here. Yeah, or that's awesome, like cactus, go post your arms. One more inhale breath. And exhale, release. Bonus trees today. As I look behind Rabbi Klass at the bima, and I see like just the, yeah, I was just reminded of a tree. I have a tree behind me, which is a ficus that probably needs a little bit more attention as well. So bonus trees today, and it's figure 4. So you'll stand on your left leg and cross your right leg, your right ankle above your left knee. You can do that from a seat as well, y'all. So stay here like this or reach up once again. You can even pretend that you're sitting like Rabbi Klass was doing, and that's a bonus hip opener. So added adventures and creativity today. Good. Awesome. Breathe in and out. And simply go to the other side. Cross your left ankle above your right knee. And you can have your hands at prayer, reach up. You can even have a seat like you're sitting in a chair, an imaginary or actual chair. Take deep breaths in and out. And release this shape. I'm going to have you move to the top of your mat now, and you'll do a half Sun Salutation A into downward facing dog. Reach up to the ceiling on an inhale breath. Exhale, fold down. Good. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Then drop down to tabletop, be on your hands and knees. Good, and you'll revisit spinal balance. Take your right hand forward and your left foot back. Stay here just like this, or catch your left foot up above you. This is a crossbow. It's a gentle back bending shape. This will start to bring you into some of the opening and releasing postures on the floor. Okay, come back to spinal balance, deep breath in. And tabletop, breathe out, swap sides, bring your left hand forward and your right foot back. Spinal balance, stay here, or catch your right foot up above you, crossbow, and ensure that you're breathing well. Deep inhales, deep exhales. And if you're bound, move back to spinal balance, stretch long, and tabletop. Good. From tabletop, you'll have a seat on your mat. You can cross your ankles and have a seat behind. I'm going to have you move into some hip openers. So, and I'm going to ask Rabbi Klass to do 3 different variations of pigeon. So the first is seated, and you'll take your right ankle above your left knee for a seated pigeon. And you can stay here just like this. You can also roll onto your back and lay down and do reclined on your back pigeon and reach through and hold behind your left thigh and pull your knee into your chest. There's your reclined. You can also, I know a lot of you like to do pigeon facing down, and if you'd like to demonstrate that one too, thank you very much. So that's that variation. And this variation, this last one, facing down with the right knee forward, your right thigh is parallel to your mat. Any of these work, y'all. From a chair, of course, you would be seated with your, just like the first variation, right ankle above the left knee. And I'll give you just a bit of time here, y'all, to take some deep breaths and ease your body into this opening shape. And relax your shoulders anywhere that you feel like maybe there's some tension or any holding on in your physical body. Simply choose to let go, to invite in ease and freedom, softening. And switch sides in your pigeon, and I will review those variations. If you're seated, you can cross, and I'm doing this one actually on my mat at home. I'm crossing my left ankle above my right knee. When you're in the seated variation, you can use your hands behind you and push your torso toward your left shin with your left foot flexed. You'll pull your left toes in toward your knee. Awesome. I see some folks taking that on. You can, of course, also do this laying down. Keep your left foot flexed, and either keep your right knee bent and hold behind your right knee to draw in, or you can even straighten your right leg up to the ceiling in that variation. You can stay here like that. You can also switch and move on to your stomach and do pigeon with your left knee facing forward. Ensure your body weight is even to the floor. Both of your hip points will be the same distance from the floor, so you're not rolling to one side or the other. And once again, of course, in your chair, if you do move to a chair, it's that same variation, left ankle above your right knee. And I will give you just a few more moments here to be in the experience of the sensation in your body. This is one of the ways too to really stay present in your practice, to not only have a listening for and a breath of choice, but to pay attention to what you are feeling, the sensations in your physical body. Yeah, and sometimes in these postures, our bodies might want to move and shift around, and that's perfectly fine. The practice of yoga also teaches that the temporary nature of things. And so right now, come out of your pigeon and into a seated forward fold. So have a seat on your mat, please, and you will start with your left leg straight and your right knee bent. So it's a seated tree variation. That's the trees in this practice today. Reach up, inhale, and fold over your left leg. On your exhale breath, please ensure that you keep your left knee slightly bent. In this practice, you'll never really lock out your joints at all. Gently lift your low belly toward your back to ensure your core is stable. You can even lead with the center of your chest to bow and forward fold down. Take deep breaths, y'all, in and out through your nose. And this practice works, y'all, whether you're moving through these shapes as I'm cueing them, or whether you're listening in and breathing deeply in and out through your nose for this period of time. You'll feel like more of a softening and easefulness in your body when you pay attention like that and create a breath of choice. You'll rise up on an inhale, and please take this on the other side. So you'll straighten your right leg with your left knee bent in, sort of like tree. Reach up, inhale, and bow down. It's unnecessary to ever reach for your foot. If that helps you, if that feels good in getting into this shape, of course do so. Otherwise, you can bring your hands by your shins as you bow down. You very subtly lift your belly in as you bow. Here, you can allow for some rounding in the back. Most of the postures you will reach with a straight spine, and this one you can round down a bit and you'll feel some spaciousness and opening in the space right between your shoulder blades. And take some deep breaths in and out. Rise all the way up on an inhale. Now it's a straight leg, both legs straight again without locking your knees. You can reach up and pull down. You can also, if you'd like, difficult to see on my screen, but I think you can see on Rabbi Klass, if you interlace your fingers behind you with your elbows bent and fold down sort of like you would standing. I guess you can see that on my screen a little bit, and bow down. It just gives you a little bit more of a shoulder opener. If it's not working for you, like kind of feels good for me. And if it's not awesome for you, you can take a different arm variation, hands by your sides, or reach for your feet. So much of this practice, y'all, is about just trying on different things and, just kind of seeing what works day by day, practice by practice. And rise up on an inhale. I did just scroll through to see some of you really quickly who are sharing your screens, and it's just amazing. Thank you all so much for sharing your practice. Now, I will offer from here as you rise up a reverse tabletop. Do that only if it feels good in your arms, your chest, your shoulders. You'll do what Rabbi Klass is with your feet facing forward. Your fingers can either face your heels or they can face to the side walls. This is a big chest shoulder opener. Take a deep breath in, lift up, and exhale, come down for fish. Bring your hands underneath your hips with your elbows shimmy together. Make sure you keep your chin tucked to your chest and seal the inner seams of your legs together with your feet pointed. One more, really big, expansive, open posture. Only drop your head back in this posture if you can breathe really well and it doesn't create any stress or tension in your neck. And lift the center of your chest. One more deep breath in. And come all the way down to your mat, lay on your back. Come into bridge, bend your knees, and lift your hips up using the strength in your legs. And your hips can come up a little bit or a lot. You can keep your arms down by your sides. You can also put your elbows down to the floor with your fingers facing up to the ceiling, or interlace your fingers beneath you and rock your shoulders side to side. A lot of these postures, John, how I kind of work to offer this practice is in a way that brings back just the natural spaciousness, opening, freedom in your body. One more inhale, breath, lift up. Exhale, come down, reclined bound angle. Put the soles of your feet together, relax your knees apart. If that feels like too much of an opening for your hips, you can always rebend your knees toward the ceiling, walk your feet to the edges of your mat, and draw your knees in toward each other. So either way. Relax your shoulders more. Press your shoulders down, relax your head. Any tension or holding on in the body, simply let that go. And gently draw your knees in. You can either move through happy baby and hold behind your knees, your ankles, or your feet with your spine as flat as possible to the floor, or you can move into waterfall and straighten your legs up to the ceiling with your hands either under your hips for support or by your sides. Those of you who have an established practice in shoulder stand or any other upside down shapes like that, of course, you're invited to do those now. You'll hold this for about 10 breaths. Make sure you're keeping your eyes on one spot. In almost all of these, it'll be straight to the ceiling. Of course, if you're in a headstand or handstand, you'll keep your eyes on a space that keeps your neck long. One more deep breath in and out. And move through any concluding postures. I see some of you in headstand. You'll ensure that you move through child's pose or down dog after a headstand. From shoulder stand, you'll move through plow and deaf man's pose. Those of you who are in practice and have no idea what these postures are, you're totally fine. That I call it next class. As you complete your upside down shapes, draw your knees into your chest and create a supine twist. Drop your knees over to the floor on the left side of your mat. Look to your right, look over your right shoulder. You can also do these twists, of course, seated like I am. I have my knees bent, and you can wrap your arm, over your knees or under, and simply look over your shoulder. For now, keep some awareness on your low belly. Keep your low belly lifted up and in toward your back. And move through center and reverse your twist. If you're laying down on your mat, of course, you'll drop your knees now to the floor on the left. Look over your right. If you're seated like I am, you can bring your arm on top of your knees or underneath and look over your shoulder. And keep your breath flowing. Deep inhales and exhales through your nose to a long count. Maybe at this point in practice, you're moving toward an 8 count inhale and an 8 count exhale. And come back through center. If you're laying down on your mat, you'll gently draw your knees in. If you have the space to draw your forehead to touch toward your knees, that's a pretty sweet low back release after practice. And now move into a full body stretch. Reach out, stretch your toes away from your hands. You might even reach one arm, then the other overhead. And now sweep your arms down by your sides, Shavasana. This is deep rest posture. Perfect for right now, today, and really any time at the conclusion of class. It will be fairly brief today. I'll probably give you about 2 minutes, so you might not hear me talk for a little bit here. But do right now let go of your breath of choice. Inhale. Open up your mouth and sigh out. Let your body soften down toward the floor, your mat. And surrender now the weight of your body to gravity. Take rest. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And gently rock your head from side to side. And move your fingers, move your toes. One leg, then the other. Draw your knees into your chest. Rock side to side and front to back in your spine, bringing some ease into your back body. Giving yourself, a bit of a massage on your spine. Either roll to one side and press up to a seat, or you can rock all the way up to a seat. Once you are seated, sit up tall and bring your palms together at the center of your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your thumbs. And take a moment to acknowledge the time that you devoted today to create a space for you for meditation, for reflection, for motion, and connection in your physical body to yourself and to this broader community. I wish you all Shana Tova, Happy New Year, and thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. It meant so much to me to be with you all. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you.
Shana Tova, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot tell you how beautiful it feels to see your faces and your bodies. It's a really wonderful thing to get to see all of you. I want to note that we had some of our kiddos were with us. I know at least 2 or 3 3rd, 4th, 5th graders, and some of our wisest members were with us as well. And I want to acknowledge the courage that it takes to come to yoga during Yom Kippur. And I want to acknowledge the graciousness that it takes for each of you to give yourselves to be here and to know that, especially during Yom Kippur, we're not going to do it perfectly. That's kind of the point. And that you came anyway. So thank you all. We continue all day. So at 1 p.m., which is in literally 1 minute, Rabbi Judy will be teaching. In an hour, Rabbi Knight will be teaching. At 3 p.m., Rabbi Beth Nichols is teaching a beautiful artistic, creative understanding of those 2 Hasidic texts that we keep in our pocket. At 4 p.m., Cantor and Rabbi Judy and I, along with Patty, will be leading a healing service. I hope we'll see many of you there. I think that's going to be a particularly meaningful experience. And then we continue with Ne'ilah at 5. Thank you again to Liz for teaching us all, for leading us all with your patience and all of your variations so that we could have many, many options. And I hope you have a wonderful, meaningful rest of your Yom Kippur, and hope to see you all on various screens very soon. Shana Tova, everyone.